Okay, that's all set. Then we'll move to the next part, that is engineering geology. Okay, last question I will not solve. Okay, just that is very basic priya, right? Apply that Q equal to K A dH by DL, that numerical, right? K पूछा है, specific discharge दिया हुआ है. What is meant by specific discharge? Q by A, right? Specific discharge is this Darcy flux or a Darcy velocity. Q by A दिया हुआ है already. You have to find only K. DS दिया हुआ है, DL दिया हुआ है, लेंथ दिया हुआ है, हाइड्रोलिक हेड चेंज दिया हुआ है. Please solve it. It is very
Yes,
basic.
yes, yes.
So then we'll move to the application of the engineering geology. Okay, there are a lot of application in the engineering geology. We have to tell me the what is the exact meaning of engineering geology. क्यों पढ़ते हैं हम इसको? Tell me the application. That means geological application in the various type of engineering field, right? The geology or application of the geology in engineering world, or any type of construction is there or no, right? Suppose this is tunneling work, है ना? Suppose you construct the dam, if you construct the tunnel, okay, if you construct the road, okay, then what is the application of the geology in that particular construction, right? Or be it coal mine, right? Be it any mines, but coals, be it the application in the petroleum industry, that is called the geomechanics. We have to find the stability also, ठीक है? Stability of the road, slope stability study करते हैं. So there are a lot of application of the engineering geology, ठीक है? And you have to find the strength of rock in different type of experiment, right? अगर लैब पे सैंपल लेके आ रहे हो, ठीक है, यू हैव टू मेजर द व्हाट इज द compressive strength, what is the tensile strength of the rock, ठीक है? What do you mean by strength? Tell me first. What do you mean by strength? Strength of rock. क्या समझते हो? This is very basic. बताओ. Strength of rock क्या है? What is your strength? बताओ. Are you there or no? Left. सारे चले गए.
Capacity of rock to
Ability to
not deform.
Exactly, right? That is the
yes,
amount of load that it can take until it get deformed, right? है कि नहीं? बताओ. Then up to that limit or what amount of load it can take in is the rock strength. ठीक है? Clear? Then rock break कब होगा? When the rock will break or failure? When the amount of load or amount of stress you are putting in a rock that is greater than the strength of rock. Are you getting my point? So this is the failure condition when the particular rock sample or core sample is break. Clear? When the
Yes,
excessive
sir.
load or excessive stress on rock is greater than the strength of rock, then after that the rock will failure. Clear? So this is the failure condition and this is the definition of the rock strength. Clear है? So all those type of rock material, be it igneous rock, be it sedimentary rock, be it metamorphic rock, has some the strength value and have some the strength value. Are you getting my point? तो उसके बेसिस से हम डिटरमाइन करते हैं कि व्हाट इज द कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल और व्हाट इज द टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल इफ यू अप्लाई द लोड. कंप्रेसिव मतलब compression, right? You are giving the compression. Then if you are applying the stress on a particular rock sample or core sample, then when it will break, right? So it is the compressive strength of the rock. Clear or any doubt? Okay, so there are a lot of applications. मैं ये ऐड किया हूँ so that you can write something, right? Be it during engineering project, different type of planning work, different type of mine development work, right? अगर आप ओपन कास्ट माइनिंग को जा रहे हो, राइट? इफ यू आर लाइक बेंच, पता है ना ओपन कास्ट पे, right? All the stability of the mines can be determined by the mining engineer, right? So mining engineer also study this type of property or this type of parameter for the proper understanding of the mine development. So accordingly they can construct the mines. ठीक है, जैसे मान लो अंडरग्राउंड माइन कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो, and what is the stability of the rock? How do you like if you go to the across the strike direction or across the deep direction, how will you construct that tunnel or any type of mines? Clear or no? So this is the very application of the engineering geology. ठीक है, be it planning, be it designing, you construction work. ठीक है, there are many type of rock mechanics issue. ठीक है, what is meant by rock mechanics? Application of the mechanics in the rock properties to understand the rock properties, right? So that is called the rock mechanics. So bit it evaluation of the geological asset. Suppose कहीं पे tsunami आ रहा है, why it is occurring? Bit it slope failure. Slope failure is the major issue, right? क्यों आ रहा है? To understand the rock properties, whether this type of slope will occur in the mica schist, है ना? सेल पे तो नहीं है, कहीं डैम फेल्योर हुआ है suppose. Understand the lithology of that type of dam. ठीक है, सपोज ये डैम तो सेल पे नहीं है, राइट? So these should be understood properly by the geologist or like civil engineer, right? So be it selection of the preparation of the rock material, be it evaluation, be it analysis of the rock deformation, ठीक है, and analysis of the rock stability. So slope failure अभी बताया था, तो understanding the slope stability, है ना? तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग मास वेस्टिंग प्रोसेसेस, ठीक है, कंट्रोलिंग ब्लास्टिंग प्रोसीजर, ठीक है, इन द माइंस, डिजाइनिंग ऑफ सपोर्ट सिस्टम, जैसे टनल कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो, ठीक है, टनल कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो तुम, ठीक है, व्हाट इज द सपोर्ट सिस्टम, व्हाट शुड बी द आरएमआर प्रॉपर्टीज, राइट? व्हाट शुड बी द आरएमआर? RSR, different type of parameter used in the tunneling work, ठीक है, to proper understanding of the tunnel designing, or to design the tunnel you should understand this type of properties, ठीक है. Hydraulic fracturing, this type of terminology used in the oil industry for the geomechanics, ठीक है. Selection type of structure, clear? So this is the application, this is not required for the objective examination, this is for the subjective examination, ठीक है. रॉक को मेजरमेंट करते हैं, द फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ द रॉक चेक करते हैं, फंडामेंटल जियोलॉजिकल प्रॉपर्टी लैबोरेटरी पे भी यूज करते हैं, फील्ड स्केल मेजरमेंट पे भी यूज करते हैं. सपोज कहीं जा रहे हो सैंपल लेने के लिए फील्ड पे, ठीक है, यू शुड मेजर द रॉक प्रॉपर्टीज इन द फील्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड द फील्ड स्केल मेजरमेंट, है ना. अगर सैंपल को लैब पे ले आए तुम, दैट इज कॉल्ड द लैबोरेटरी मेजरमेंट. So there are lot of parameter are using in the lab and there are lot of parameter used in the field, ठीक है. So laboratory measurement, these are referred to as raw properties, are acquired using the small sample taken from the field side and analyzed in the laboratory setting, ठीक है. तो sample field से लाते हो lab पे, तो lab पे analyze करते हो and check the all those type of different type of parameter. Field scale measure rock mass properties, description of the bulk strength, स्ट्रेंथ चेक करते हो, ठीक है. एंड कई बार ना फील्ड पे भी कुछ, अभी जैसे मान लो स्पीथ हमर, उसको लेके फील्ड पे जाते हैं, यू कैन इजीली कैरी दोस टाइप ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन टू द फील्ड, ठीक है. द नेचर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज आर गवर्न प्राइमरली बाय डिसकंटिन्यूटीज. सो डिसकंटिन्यूटीज इज वेरी मच important for the understanding of the discontinuity. Geological lithology. डिसकंटिन्यूटी क्या है, कोई बता सकता है? व्हाट डू मीन बाय डिसकंटिन्यूटी, क्या समझते हो? Sorry, actually my health is not that much good today. Discontinuity क्या है?
Discontinuity is a break.
Not exactly break, you can say it is the plane of weakness, you can tell it fracture, है ना, फ्रैक्चर बोल सकते हो, जॉइंट बोल सकते हो. सो इन रॉक मैकेनिक्स और इन एनी टाइप ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग वर्क जॉइंट इज स्पेशली यूज्ड, ठीक है. और क्लीवेज बोल सकते हो, और सियोर जोन, राइट. So these are the discontinuity, right, or plane of weaknesses. So discontinuity or plane of weaknesses that are present in the rock mass. What is the basic difference between rock and rock mass? रॉक क्या है बताओ, रॉक मास क्या है बताओ, एंड वन मोर टर्मिनोलॉजी आएगा इंटैक्ट रॉक, ये क्या है बताओ, और डिसकंटिन्यूटी रॉक, दिस टर्मिनोलॉजी टेल मी बताओ. Rock simply is a aggregate of mineral, right? Answer me, right? Aggregate of mineral. And rock mass, same, is the rock having some discontinuity. Rock having some discontinuity. ठीक है, suppose ये rock है, suppose, or any terrain you are visiting, suppose this is the mountain exposures. Suppose there will be the lot of joint you are like getting in that terrain. ठीक है, then it is called rock mass. Clear or any doubt? Or intact rock without discontinuity. ठीक है, आर यू क्लियर और नॉट क्लियर? सपोज यहाँ पे, सपोज एट दिस लोकेशन, यहाँ पे कोई सैंपल ले आए हो तुम, राइट? इट इज इंटैक्ट रॉक. इन बिटवीन डिसकंटिन्यूटी यू कैन ऑल्सो फाइंड द इंटैक्ट रॉक. ठीक है, सपोज कहीं मेटामॉर्फिक टेरेन पे घूमने गए हो, सपोज यहाँ पे डिसकंटिन्यूटी नहीं है, देन इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड इंटैक्ट रॉक. ठीक है, and also if you are getting the sample in discontinuity, suppose ये discontinuity area है, there are lot of joint set in this part, suppose in between joint you are getting some rock sample, that is also called the intact rock. Are you getting my point or any doubt? Clear? Rock क्या है, rock mass क्या है, intact rock क्या है, and discontinuity rock, all those type of rock having lot of discontinuity or having the lot of joint set. Clear or any doubt?
Yes sir, clear.
जॉइंट सेट क्या है बताओ?
Group of joints.
नॉट ग्रुप ऑफ जॉइंट. एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं. हाँ, सपोज ये टेरेन है, बोलना ठीक है. My question is how many joint set are there? बताओ.
2.
कैसे पता चला?
Perpendicular to each other, so we can calculate 2.
No, that is not the actual meaning of joint set. Joint set मतलब joint set or joint having the same orientation. The joint having same orientation is called joint set. If you look at this part, this type of joint, this is dipping in this direction, right? And another is dipping this way, right way. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
So I can say this is the joint number 1, J1, because this joint having the same orientation. Am I right? This is dipping the right way. And another joint is this, is the orientation same. So this is joint number 2. Are you getting my point? This joint is perpendicular each other, that is the other way, but thing is the joint having the same orientation. This joint number 1 having some the orientation that is dipping to the right, and joint 2 dipping left. Are you getting my point? What is the exact meaning of joint set? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So rock mass, in the rock mass, you will find some of the fracture in the bedding plane, right? Fracture, bedding plane or fault. That is called the plane of weakness or discontinuity. Okay? And there are a lot of factors that affecting the rock mass or rock property. जैसा मान लो कहीं पे water content है, ठीक है? Then that water content also affect in the rock mass or calculate if you calculate the rock strength, okay? If there will be the presence of water, then the rock strength will gradually decrease. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? बताओ. Yes, no, maybe, or are you not
Yes,
understand?
sir.
If there will be the water content in the rock, then the strength will vary or no. If you get
Yes, sir. Well,
the two type of sample, suppose dry sample, wet sample. Then these two samples, this is sample number one, this is sample number two. The strength will vary or no?
sir, it will
Yes,
vary.
sir, very.
Vary, right? That's why I'm saying, no. If there will be the presence of water, then that water affects the rock properties. Yes or no? Not only rock properties का मतलब क्या है? Not only strength. Not only strength. There are lot of rock properties like texture, color. So these are the physical properties, and some there are different type of mechanical properties. What is the basic difference between physical properties and mechanical properties? बताओ. Physical properties क्या है? Mechanical properties क्या है? बताओ. Tell me. This is very basic, right? Did you see? You tell me. What is the basic difference between physical properties and mechanical properties?
The physical properties are like color, hardness, shape, solar rock properties, and
So these are the example of the physical properties.
yes, that which we observe on the rock surface.
Okay, and what about the mechanical properties?
Sir, I think that mechanical properties they are related to mechanics, like physics and mechanics.
क्या है example? Like example?
Uh,
Like shear stress, strength,
Exactly.
durability, strength.
Durability is the physical parameter. How much
Okay.
durable is that? Durability is the physical properties. Durability, right? And the swelling properties is there, right? Thermal properties is
Yes,
there.
yes.
फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज मतलब फिजिकल अपीयरेंस. यू हैव सम फिजिकल अपीयरेंस, तो आपको कैसे पहचानूंगा मैं? आपके फिजिकल अपीयरेंस है, whether you are like your nose is like straight or like curved, right? From your eye, right? From your skin tone. Am I right or wrong? From your physical appearance. And mechanical properties like your strength, right? That is called the mechanical attribute. That means the deformation part, right? Mechanical properties matlab how the rock will behave when it get deformed, or what is the stress condition, what is the strength condition, right? All those things like compressive strength, tensile strength. Am I right or wrong? Shear strength. So these are
Yes,
the
sir.
mechanical properties, and physical attribute of rock, that is called physical properties. Mechanical attribute of rock, that is called the mechanical properties. Physical properties like texture, color, all those things, right? Cooling properties, thermal properties, electrical properties. There are a lot of properties are there. If you are talking about physical and mechanical properties, there are a lot of properties are there. Porosity is there. How the rock will behave if there will be the high porous condition, और हाई परमेबिलिटी कंडीशन, ठीक है, पोरोसिटी, परमेबिलिटी, इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, ठीक है, all those things all are there, but I am not focusing all those detail because it will take classes and classes. I am focusing what is the requirement for the assistant hydrogeologist exam, ठीक है. So texture influence the rock strength definitely directly through the degree of interlocking, whether it is the compact texture, right? And from this type of texture you can also predict the stability of the mineral, right? And its weathering condition. Suppose granite, it is very compact, right? The strength will be higher side, am I right or no? If you're talking about shale, it is very weathered rock, right? Yes or no? So accordingly the strength will vary, yes or no? So texture affects the rock properties. Some of the defect, if there will be some microfracture in the rock, whether there will be the mineral cleavage, or whether there will be any type of weakness in the rock, that affects the rock properties, yes or no? Batao. So all these type of things are affecting the rock properties, okay? Not only the physical, in the mechanical attribute also, okay? And anisotropy is common because it's preferred orientation of the mineral and directional stress history. So anisotropy gives the directional stress history. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the anisotropic properties? Just tell me.
Different direction will show different properties.
Exactly, right? Suppose there is a rock sample, right? So this is the sample. If you take measurement along this direction or the horizontal direction, how this type of parameter will vary, or how the properties is varying in this direction and vertical direction, okay? So how the properties or any type of parameter will vary through the horizontal direction or vertical direction, that is called the anisotropic property, okay? Suppose कोई sample ले आए हो, suppose mark this part also. If you take the section from this part, whether the properties, all those type of properties will same as if you take the sample from this part. If you take a section from this part, B part, suppose मान लो यहाँ पे कोई section लिए A part, all those properties will vary in the A or B, or it is same. That will give rise to the anisotropic property. Clear? I'm not going into detail, ठीक है? Directly jump करते हैं. I'll discuss strength test from like tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Then we'll solve some question, right? What is meant by shear strength? What is meant by tensile strength? All those things, ठीक है? Point load test पे क्या measure करते हैं? Point load test is an indirect test that measure the tensile strength. That is the formula equal to IS equal to P by D square. P का मतलब क्या है?
Pressure
Not pressure.
on the area.
It is load in the engineering part, that is called the pressure, you can say. But in the engineering geology we normally use the load. How much you are loading, ठीक है? Suppose तुम यूनिएक्सल यूसीएस टेस्टिंग मशीन पे जाओगे, ठीक है? यूसीएस इज ए मशीन where you measure the uniaxial compressive strength, ठीक है? You have put some load, ठीक है, in that instrument. That's why we normally call the load. P is for the load. We apply the load, ठीक है? We apply normally load. इसको failure load क्यों बोलते हैं? P is for failure load. We applying load in which part, at what load it will break. At what load it will break. That's why we normally calling the failure load. So P by D square is the formula for the calculation. How do we calculate? IS is the point load index. IS is the point load index. D is the failure load. D is the diameter of the sample. Okay? We normally discuss tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Let's talk about this part. I'm not discussing about this part. Desk study करते हैं. If you go to the top, specifically tunnel, if you have to construct the tunnel, then you should like go through the literature study, right? That is called the desk study. You have to get an idea some of the literature of that particular area. Then you go for the preliminary recognitory survey, then you have to go for the detailed site investigation, right? For the direct method, you have to geological mapping, core logging करोगे, dilutometer straits करोगे, permeability straight. There are a lot of tests and parameter you have to check for that construction of the tunnel. Okay, so this is the site investigation. How do you construct a tunnel and how you investigate, okay, for the construction of the tunnel. I'm not going into the all those details, but let's talk about some of the properties directly. ये बता दिया हूँ मैं. The rock and rock mass, rock material refers to the intact rock. Okay, that is means it is aggregate of rock and rock mass having some the discontinuity in. Suppose in between discontinuity you find some rock, then it is called the intact rock also. Okay, so rock mass बता दिया. Rock material different from the rock mass which refers to the in situ rock together completely. What is meant by the in situ? In situ क्या है?
In place.
In place, right?
We did.
Same palace.
In place. So with its discontinuity and weathering profile. So rock mass having some discontinuity in that particular part and having some fracture, having some joint set. So these are the joint set. So this is the one joint having same orientation and this is the another joint set. Clear? Let's talk about directly jump about. Okay, so these are the physical characteristic and some of the mechanical characteristic. What do you mean by physical characteristic? We normally check the physical composition, we normally check color, we normally check texture, grain size, grain shape, porosity. So these are the physical attribute. Okay, physical characteristic or physical properties say about physical attribute of rock. And mechanical properties talks about the deformability, deformation, how or strength you can say. That is called the mechanical attribute. Okay, it gives two strength properties, point load, Brazilian index, hardness, Smith-Hammer test, Mohs scale, brittle behavior or ductile behavior, right? So this is all those mechanical characteristic of the rock material, right? Some of the physical properties here, some of the mechanical properties is here, right? So porosity, void ratio, moisture content, degree of saturation, permeability, swelling properties. So these are the some of the physical properties. And rock hardness, point load index, uniaxial compressive strength, tensile strength, all those things are the mechanical properties, right? Let's talk about some of the physical properties. Okay, porosity क्या है बताओ? जल्दी बताओ जल्दी. It's already late. Tell me.
Volume of void by total volume.
Exactly, it is measured in the porosity percentage, right? So porosity you can write the phi or n. It is the volume of void with respect to total volume. Okay, how much is the volume of void in the sample with bulk volume? Okay, not solid volume. Bulk volume tells about the overall volume of the rock sample. Suppose this is the rock specimen. Okay, so this is the sample. We have to take the volume of it by taking mass of the rock sample and volume of the rock sample. Okay, so this is called the density of the rock sample. And bulk volume का मतलब ये total rock sample का volume है, including pore space also or void space also. But if I were talking about the pore volume, then you have to take in consideration only whether the pore space is filled with water or air. Are you getting my point or doubt?
Yes, sir, getting.
Bulk volume का मतलब है total sample का volume. But if I will talk about pore volume, then you have to consider only maybe air volume or water volume, because all the pore space is filled with water or air. Are you getting my point or no? But if I will talk about oil industry, then the oil and gas will be there, right, in the pore space. Then you have to consider for the oil case, you have to consider the oil volume also for the gas volume also. Okay, it is slightly different for the, like, if you talk about petrophysics or any type of oil industry, then slightly porosity will come different. But if you have consider the only rock sample, then only pore space is filled with water or air. Are you getting my point or no? So porosity is the ratio of volume of opening or void to the total volume of material. It is always measured in the percentage. ठीक है. Porosity is therefore is the fraction between 0 to 100%. 100% porosity मतलब क्या है? All those fills void space is filled with water. That means it is completely saturated.
Fully saturated.
Fully saturated, right? All the void is filled with water, right? So that is called the 100% porosity. Okay? And porosity also describe how densely the material is packed, whether it is completely well packed or loosely packed. Okay? Clear? So porosity is the volume of void, that is called the pore volume, and about bulk volume, that is B. Okay? So this is the cross section of the porous rock, where this part is the pore volume. देखो BP मतलब only pore volume. ठीक है. We only consider the pore volume मतलब either air volume और क्या कंसिडर करोगे? अरे वो देयर और नो?
Voids.
अरे मैं बोला पोर वॉल्यूम का मतलब क्या है? आइदर इट विल बी एयर और वाटर, राइट? सो यू कंसिडर ओनली द एयर वॉल्यूम और वाटर वॉल्यूम, राइट? तो पोर वॉल्यूम का मतलब इधर द एयर और वाटर, and this part is volume of matrix, that is grain only, right? Are you getting my point? If the porosity is 5 pore volume, then the porosity of matrix will be 1 minus 5. Clear? Okay, so these you can study what is the high porosity material. You can get some highly porous marine sediment, you find some unconcentrated sediment, right? Sandstone milega, carbonate milega, low porosity, this type of material. Go through this. Density क्या है? Mass per volume. Am I right or wrong? So this is the density of the sample. ठीक है? Is mass per overall volume. Suppose this is a rock sample. अगर इसका density निकालना पड़ेगा आपको, then completely you have to take the whole mass of sample divided by volume of sample or bulk volume, right? What is meaning of unit weight? Unit weight का मतलब क्या है? यूनिट वेट का मतलब क्या है? नहीं, यूनिट मतलब what is the weight for unit volume, right? Weight for volume. What is the basic difference between mass and weight? बताओ. It's simple, right? Mass is mass and it is due to the gravitation. M into G, right? है कि नहीं? बताओ. आप लोग भाग गए क्या या सो गए?
Yes, sir.
क्या ये सर भाग गए या सो गए? Unit weight is gamma, that is written as weight per unit volume. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
W क्या है? M into G. So
Yes,
gamma
sir.
equal to M into G open volume. M by B क्या है? Density into G.
Density.
I can write also this part. So density into acceleration due to gravity is gamma. That is called the unit weight. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
In some case or in some examination, you will find unit weight. That is not same as the density. some एग्जाम पे यूनिट वेट गिवन दिया होगा, ठीक है? यूनिट वेट इज वेट पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम, बट डेंसिटी इज मास पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम, ठीक है? यूनिट वेट मतलब है डेंसिटी का अगर तुम एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, इट इज कॉल्ड यूनिट वेट. क्लियर? So density is the mass of solid by volume. Unit is kg per meter cube or gram per centimeter. ठीक है? Unit weight of solid, weight of dry rock sample. ठीक है? I am talking about bulk unit weight and unit weight of solid. If I will talk about only solid part, then you have to take only weight of the dry rock sample. मतलब only grain part. ठीक है? Suppose this is sample. This sample is made up of some grain. Are you getting my point? This is the grain and this is the pore space in between. So pore space either filled with air or either filled with water. ठीक है? जब हम consider करते हैं unit weight of solid, then you assume there will be the no water or air. You only talk about the grain or sample. Are you getting my point? So this is the unit weight of solid. But when I will talk about bulk unit weight, that is simply weight per volume, right? So porosity is volume of void into 100. You can go through this. This is the very formula you can write. It is like applied in the exam, or if you practice some of the question, then you can apply. And dry density अभी बताया था. Density का मतलब क्या है? Mass upon bulk volume. तुम मास ऑफ होल सैंपल भी लेते हो, वॉल्यूम ऑफ होल सैंपल लेते हो, बट व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ड्राई डेंसिटी, दैट मींस यू आर कंसीडरिंग ओनली सॉलिड पार्ट, दैट इज मास ऑफ द सॉलिड बाय टोटल वॉल्यूम, दैट इज कॉल्ड ड्राई डेंसिटी. ठीक है? जब रिलेटिव डेंसिटी की बात करते हो, रिलेटिव डेंसिटी कंपैरिजन टू द डेंसिटी ऑफ द वाटर. ठीक है? रिलेटिव डेंसिटी वी कैन से द स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी. Specific gravity equal to relative density. What is the specific gravity? Tell me. Tell me. It is density of soil or any sample with respect to density of water, right?
Yes, sir.
So specific gravity is unitless, but density having unit is kg per meter cube or gram per centimeter cube. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. One slide is missing, I think. Okay. What is void ratio?
Volume of void upon volume of solid.
Right? You are talking void ratio E equal to volume of void by volume of solid, right? You measure the volume of void or amount of void in solid, not in whole sample, right? Okay. Now tell me, what is the relationship between phi or porosity and void ratio? क्या है?
Phi is equal to E by 1 plus C.
Phi equal to E by 1 plus C. कैसे पता चला? कैसे पता चला आपको? Can you derive it? Let's derive it. Okay. Either you remember phi equal to E by 1 plus C. अगर void ratio दिया होगा phi determine कर सकते हो, or you remember this part, E equal to phi minus 1 by E. Let's derive. What do you mean by porosity? Phi equal to volume of void by bulk volume. Void ratio क्या है? Are you getting my point? bulk वॉल्यूम को मैं वॉल्यूम ऑफ void प्लस वॉल्यूम ऑफ सैंपल लिख सकता हूँ, और सॉलिड. Yes or no? Yes or no? अरे कुछ तो बताओ.